slaves, the teen trade. For most Americans, stories of teenage girls being trafficked in America seem incredible.
People, even that are college educated, think trafficking only happens in India and China. Just because you make $100,000 a year and you live in a fancy house doesn't mean that it won't happen to your kids.
By all accounts, the picture-perfect streets of Birmingham, Michigan are an ideal place to raise children. It's hometown USA.
I was a Irish Catholic middle-class girl that lived in the suburbs. I had a nice family. I went to church. I was a good kid. I didn't party and I wasn't loose. I was just a normal, everyday kid.
Back in 1981, Teresa Flores was a 15-year-old high school student. That's when her family relocated from a small rural town to this upscale suburb outside Detroit.
I think it was probably the hardest move that we made.
Teresa's family moved every year as her father, an executive, climbed the corporate ladder. In 1981, that meant a new house, new friends, and starting a new life in a new high school. Unlike the small rural high school she had attended, her new high school had thousands of kids who Teresa considered exotic, including a junior named Daniel.
He was very flashy and wore like Ralph Lauren pants that were, ironed, and loafer shoes and lots of gold jewelry and nice smelling cologne, and I was drawn to it.
One day, Daniel offered Teresa a ride home.
I thought he was amazing, and I jumped at the chance like any 15-year-old girl would do and said, sure.
On the way home, she says, Daniel stopped to show her his house and took Teresa to an upstairs bedroom.
One thing led to another. He kissed me, and I'd always known when to tell somebody to stop, and he didn't. And I kept, getting louder and pushing him and trying to get him off me, and he wouldn't stop until it was too late.
For Teresa, an obedient Catholic girl, the rape was devastating.
That was the most important thing to me in the whole wide world, was my virginity. My religion was so important to me that the shame that carried with it was huge. There was no way I wanted my mom to know that had happened.
In a state of shame and shock, Teresa was approached by Daniel a few days later at school.
He said, I need to talk to you after school. And I was like, no way. I remember last time what happened. And he said, no, I need to talk to you.
Against her better judgment, Teresa met Daniel. To her shock, Teresa says Daniel showed her pictures of the rape that his cousins took while hiding in the bedroom.
It looked like a very compromising picture. It didn't look like there was a struggle.